The Mango After Hours podcast is provided for general information, personal use, and entertainment purposes only. We do not verify or independently confirm stories, claims, or statements made by guests. The views and opinions expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the host, producers, sponsors, or affiliates. Nothing shared on this podcast should be considered legal, medical, financial, or professional advice. Always consult a qualified professional before making decisions based on this content. Mention of specific brands, products, individuals, or businesses does not imply endorsement. All trademarks are the property of their respective owners. If you disagree with something shared on this podcast or believe there is another side to the story, reach out. We may invite you to share your perspective in a future episode. Now sit the fuck down and enjoy the show.
Action.
Action! What episode is this? Capture? What episode?
Yeah, by the way,
so unprepared.
24?
Is it 24?
So 23 is going to be Kyle.
Okay, so it's just 24. Okay.
24 is a good
All right, people. Now that we got it figured out, this is episode 24. And we got a special guest here from the East Coast. Before we introduce him, let's give a shout out to the sponsors. Trollmaster, the future of intelligent farming. You should try the WCS9 because that's just the shit. It's going to make your grow like never before. It's inexpensive, no subscription, and I'm telling you, once you use it, you ain't never going back to the other guys. I'm telling you, I am confident this time. We're not taking the L. We're going to take the, how do the rappers do it? California dudes, West Coast. We're going to take the win. I'm not used to it because I'm from the East Cost. Anyway, Thinker LED, best LEDs in the game. If you don't buy them because you can't afford them, but that's because you haven't checked the new pricing out, because the pricing now is going to beat all the other lower quality lights. So now you're just kicking yourself in the ass. Thinker LED. If you're not juicing, you're losing. Mango juice, sponsored by. And then lastly, look at this set. This is a beautiful set. Mango Tech store, backdrop, Mango After Hours. Their store closes, poof, it becomes a studio. Anyway, today we have Brad. I'm going to butch up his last name here in a minute because his Canadian, French-Canadian last name. And hold on, because I can't even read. Hornois or Hornois. Okay, what's up, Brad? What's going on?
That's good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. This is like so we're going back to the roots of what this podcast is all about. We started with industry people and to teaching the community, and then for a streak there, for a little streak there, we were into influencers and drama weed, and that was cool. The last two podcasts been about industry. Machinery, and now we're going to have a guy that's in the construction field per se, in the industry. So tell us a little bit about yourself real quick, and then the company that that you formed and you work with.
Yeah, right
real
on.
quick.
So
little introduction.
Yeah, Brad from HydroEarth out of Rhode Island. We opened our shop back in 2009. So just hit 17 years in business.
Okay.
We went from a small little grow shop, building closet grows for medical growers, to now we're doing 5,000 lighters nationwide.
This guy does build. You guys might never seen or heard of him, if you're under a rock or something. But this dude builds some fucking massive facilities. 5,000 lights, and bigger. Just about, dude, like more than 7-figure, 8-figure grows. It's crazy. And we're going to get into that. But before we get into the massive grows that he's building, and by the way, he builds most of these grows in the East Coast. California has got a huge market. There is no state in the country or the world that is going to beat the California market per se. I think Michigan outsold, though. Let me correct that. Rewind. Michigan might have outsold California in the rec market, though. Who knows the trap game? But as a region, the Northeast, and I've said this before, I'm from the Southeast, the Northeast is going to kick ass on the rest of the country on cannabis because there's just so many people. There's so many little states that not one little state, and those little states are populated like hell. But so all those little states are so populated that the whole region is definitely going to be the king of cannabis in the long run as per sales, sales numbers, lights per state number or per region. I mean, they're definitely going to take off. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the most densely populated areas for grows, for sure.
Right, and then anybody that's heard me in the past talk about densely populated grow areas, District 6 in Sacramento, once again, it's called the Green Zone. District 6 because there's 8 districts in Sacramento. District 6 is where most of the grows are. There's 80 grow facilities in District 6. We have 2.5 million square feet of canopy just in this district alone. And over 250 cannabis-related businesses, whether you're a nursery, a cultivation, distro, grow store, anything like that. So this is pretty densely populated. But what he's talking about is massive amount of grows that are just going to be all over the Northeast. New York, New Jersey just broke in, so it's just going to get massive. So how what you I think you said you were born and raised in Rhode Island. Okay.
Born and raised in Rhode Island, yeah.
What kind of upbringing did you have? What did your parents do?
My parents were business people, you know, they were in the business game, computer tech. So they came up in the computer industry, the computer boom. So
Okay, so they didn't grow weed.
nope. They definitely didn't grow weed.
They didn't like weed, I'm sure, right?
And they did not like that I liked weed, that's for sure.
All right. So that's kind of the same upbringing that I had.
Yeah.
So about what age, was it that you got introduced into cannabis?
Oh man, I'd say I probably smoked my first joint when I was like 12.
12.
I had older sisters that were, you know, bad influences with friends and everything.
And the sisters this time.
Yeah, it was the sisters.
Hey,
yeah.
there's always a first for everything. I always hear the older brother, but now you got a few older sisters,
Shit,
all right?
Man, I want to say I sold my first bag of weed when I was 14 years old.
Okay.
Never looked back from that point on.
Okay, so how many of you are in the family? You said, yourself, how many other sisters?
I'm actually an only child, but,
Okay.
you know, we got step parents that have been in the game since, I was 3, 4, 5 years old, so
Okay.
I consider them family. Those are sisters to me. And I don't
Oh, I
even call
got
them
you. Okay,
stepsisters, so.
okay. I got you. Cool.
Yeah.
So they were the influence. They're the ones that say, hey, man, you
Yeah.
saw them smoke it, or did they push it on you?
Hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Yeah, they're sisters. There's really not much you can do.
Went from playing sports to smoking weed.
So you sold your first bag of weed at 14 years old, and what kind of weed was it?
Oh, we're talking swag back then, you know, maybe some decent mids
Okay,
with the
Regs, pressed,
seeds,
Mexican, Jamaican.
yeah, bricked out, you know,
Okay.
selling dimes, quarters.
So Rhode Island, and I think I asked you earlier how close is Rhode Island to Philadelphia, and the reason why I ask is my wife is from Philly, in New York, Rhode Island, I guess, around that same area. So you sold your first bag of weed at 14 years old, and then what happened?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we started small scale, picked up an ounce, chopped it up, selling it from there, and then it just progressed. Once I got out of high school, and next thing you know, we're moving pounds, and then from there we're starting to grow. As a whole.
So you actually grew in Rhode Island. You built grows for yourself and your friends, or just for yourself, or?
Yeah, Rhode Island was actually one of the first medical states out there. 2005 or 2006, they went medical.
Pretty early.
Yeah.
Pretty early.
So
Okay.
we were picking up licenses back then. You could be a caregiver.
Okay.
And you could be a caregiver for a patient, and you could, we had one of the best laws around too. We had people flocking from all over the country to come out to Rhode
So
Island.
it's kind of like California in 1996-ish.
Yeah.
Where they're, the cancer patients, they kind of,
That's exactly what it was.
A little lost to be
Yeah.
able to soften the blow.
And then our law was structured where it was plant numbers. So like I said, we had people coming from all over the country to live in Rhode Island just to get these licenses and start growing. So they'd tell you, you can have 2 caregiver licenses, you can grow 24 plants per. So now you can have 48 plants, but they never said how big they could be. There was no measurement of square foot of canopy or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So next thing you know, we're putting 48 lighters up, doing 1 light per plant.
Okay.
Growing
Letting them
monsters,
veg, getting them big,
Growing-
training them,
Growing 2
squatting
to 3
them.
pound plants.
Okay.
Long veg, but
Right. Okay.
and it was a major gray area. Everything was legal till you cut it down.
Right. Exactly. You don't. They don't know. Eventually, that's how they learned that they were. That what we should have said this. Let's rewrite the laws a little bit. Okay. So interesting. So then you're selling packs, and then for those of you guys that don't know, HydroEarth, they had a grow shop for many years. When did you guys open up the grow
Yeah,
shop?
so I was, out of high school, got into the construction game as just typical stoner, get into the trade. Started working in the union, did a bunch of different construction work, framing, excavation, and then we started, I would get laid off in the wintertime because we got a rough winter up there in the Northeast.
It makes sense.
So you'd get laid off in the wintertime, and you're like, well, I guess I'm going to survive off my grow. So collecting unemployment and growing grass on the side. And then
Okay, cool. So the grows, even though you had a job, and I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
You had a union job. The grow was you still would
Always
get the
worked.
grows and the
Always had a
grows.
job. No matter what I was doing, always held a
The
job.
smart people always had a job.
Yeah.
No matter what. The smart people always had a job because you got to be able to, collect that check. You got to be able to, that you're going somewhere. You got to tell people,
Yep.
I do have a job. If not, they got to start wondering.
Yep.
Those were the ages that you needed a job. You might get away with it now, but not back then. And plus, it builds character. It gets you better at, that paid off for what you're doing now, because we're going to get into what he does now. These massive grows is insane. So in the winter, okay, that makes sense. You go on unemployment, you still get paid, and then you just dedicate your time to the grow.
Yeah.
And get that side.
Yes, I'm in the union, and the foreman would come around. We knew it was about layoff time. They were coming around.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody want to get laid off? I was always the first one to. I'm out.
Go ahead. I know they got kids. Go ahead, help them
those
out.
guys,
I'll take the L for the team, and then you go back into the garden.
I'll take my 2 checks. I'm out, and
Okay.
just I'll talk to you guys in 3 months. And in the union, you only had to do 9. I was in the laborers union, so you had to do 1,000 hours a year to get a good credit.
Okay.
You got good credit, got you your pension, your health benefits, and everything. So that was only 9 months. You only had to put 9 months in,
Okay.
and you were good.
And then you still have those pensions now from then, or no? Or you still have pensions from then, or you have to?
I moved them from there. Yeah,
Okay.
I took it all out once So I was in the union, and again growing, and we're going in the grow shops, and this is where it all started. Back then, you'd go into a grow shop. If you even mentioned cannabis, they threatened to call the cops on you.
Yes, they kicked you out too.
We're in there talking about tomatoes.
Okay.
I got a cannabis license in my pocket to grow cannabis, but if I mention it in the store, they're going to call the cops on me.
Mm-hmm.
So my partner and I at the time, my partner today, which we were just boys back then, growing, doing our thing, we're like, what the fuck's going on here? This makes no sense.
You have a cannabis license. You
Yeah.
go into a grocery store, and they don't allow you to talk to it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to touch on that. That's pretty cool that you've had a partner for that long, because usually partnerships don't fucking last.
Yeah, there's a saying out there, they say, partners are for dancing. Yeah.
And I got to say, I never liked partners either.
Yeah.
Until you meet the right one. I believe,
Yeah.
my partner now. I think we work great. Everybody knows their position. You play that
Exactly
position.
what it is.
And
It's about
and it works.
understanding everybody's role in the company.
Yes, and it
It
works.
may not look like everybody's doing the same thing, but at the end of the day, it's for one collaborative effort.
Right, and then they should be doing the same thing, because I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you have your attributes. He's got his attributes.
Yep.
Whether it's front office, back office,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, and that's when it works. When there's two people who are good at different things,
Mm-hmm.
and they're both doing it for the same cause per se.
Correct. Yeah, so he's more of a computer guy, behind the scenes guy. He's not really, people's person. He just wants to do his thing, but he's good at computers, invoicing, figuring out computer programs, QuickBooks. All that's not my thing.
That's
you know?
that's not my
I barely
thing. Either.
I barely made it through high school.
Yeah, that's not my thing.
Yeah,
Either. I pay
so,
people to do the computer
yeah.
shit. Yeah, but I'd much rather be
yeah.
hands-on, like you say. I'd rather
I'm the
be in the
go-getter.
ditch.
I'm the go-getter. I'm out there. Just I don't mind the work. I don't mind doing the work. I enjoy it. So
I feel like when I'm at a desk doing emails or whatever, because I fucking hate emails. I just hate emails. Can't stand emails. I feel like I'm not working. If I'm at home or whatever doing emails, it's like there's something going on in that room or over there where they're fucking it up. They're not doing it 100%. That I feel like I got to be there.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, that's just a mentality that I have. I like to be involved in whatever's going on. I like to be hands-on.
it's tough to scale when you do that, though. It took me a long time.
100%.
It took a long time for me to be able to let go. Almost 10 years. Like I had to do everything.
Yeah, you want to be involved in everything. There is
Yeah.
no such a thing as, as a break, because you want to be involved, because you just want to make sure that's your reputation.
Yep.
And you want everybody to learn how you're doing it. But once you get a good team, I feel, once you get a good team and they, you get comfortable with them, you get comfortable with them, with their skills, and then they get, they learn what you like, then that's when it works. And that's when it works. Okay, this is the way he likes it, we're going to do it this way, and
Yeah.
then you not have to be on top of them
Exactly.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, if I wasn't willing to let go a little bit and pass, delegate,
Yes.
we wouldn't be where we are today.
And nobody would be.
It's
To
just
tell you the
not-
truth, nobody,
it's just not
no,
possible.
nobody would be.
Yeah.
The bigger that we get, I understand now why everything takes so long in the corporate world.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, nobody wants to make a decision and have it fail and be responsible for it. So nobody's really willing to take that leap. But also, it's just you have so many irons in the fire that you only address the one that's super hot. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, yeah.
Super hot. I got a set of plans back there of stuff that I should have taken care of a month and a half
Mm-hmm.
ago. I'm not even lying. But I just don't, because it's not really, it's just like it's wood.
Yeah.
There's not even kindling. It's not even kindling.
Yeah,
I'll get to that when I get to that.
Yeah.
Even though I get a couple of emails once every couple of weeks says, hey, have you looked at this? Have you looked at this? Yeah, I will. It's really not going to hurt me if I don't, but I should. You know. So I understand what you're saying.
And shit's always going to happen. You got to, it is what it is. You wake up in the morning when you're a business owner, you say, what the hell's it going to be today?
Kind of like today.
Yeah, it could be anything.
When you see me this morning,
Every single day.
it's like, I mean, I don't know how many more banks are going to close me out. And then I go to another bank, and then, I didn't plan for this, but, it's like, I went to a bank, opened a new bank account, gave them all the information, and somehow they put an address from 10 years ago, 4 houses ago.
Yeah.
And the guy's looking at me like, I don't know, I put the right information, and, just to make sense of it, it just doesn't. So then they were acquiring all this information from me, my partner. He's in Hong Kong, so I can't even talk to. It's not like I can call him and he's here. No, he's in Hong Kong. It's fucking 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So exactly what you're saying. Something's always going to happen.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah. Something's going to happen, and the guys you delegate to, they might do it a little differently than you do, and that's tough too, because now you're standing there, you're like.
Right, but they say, "Fuck," dude. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta go. I gotta do something.
As long as the end result still gets to where you want it to be.
Exactly. I feel your pain.
Yeah,
It is painful, but I feel your pain. You know what I tell people is like, I pick my battles.
Yeah.
I pick my battles. But you know what? That at the same time, that being said, I've eaten a lot of crow on my spot. I've eaten a lot of crow. You think you know it all sometimes, and then sometimes, you know what? Show me.
Yeah.
And I like for somebody to prove me wrong almost like 3 times. Because one time it could be luck. The second time could have been luck too. 3 times, okay, you're onto something. You know what? Let me put some salt and pepper on that crow feathers and eat it. And at the end of the day, I still win.
Yeah.
It's my grow, so we're going to do it that way from now on. And it's going to benefit us. So I have no problem eating crow feathers.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper on them bitches.
So getting back to the, starting the shop, like I said, when you walked into a shop back then, it was, hush, hush, couldn't say nothing. So we're like, what the fuck's going on here? So at the time, I was 25 years old. I didn't have no money. I mean, I was growing. I had trap money, but you can't do nothing with mattress money.
No.
That's good for clothes, going out to dinner, and maybe buying a car under 10 grand.
Car,
or something,
motorcycle, the vacation,
Yeah.
the bar, the nice
You look cool,
dinners.
but you can't really make moves with
Correct.
mattress money.
Yeah.
So
Listen to that, boys. Listen to that, boys. He is 100 on this one.
yeah, so at the time, my stepfather was laid off out of work. Like I said, a salesman. Year went by, couldn't find no work, nothing. My partner and I were on the couch. I think we were doing bong rips or something at the time, and we had this idea. Like, we need to open a grow shop that teaches people how to grow. Like, this is insane. There's a huge market there. So we took the idea to him. My stepfather was like, we toured a couple grow shops in the area, and he was like, he took a chance on us.
Okay.
How
old were you?
I was 25 years old.
25. I think you said that, but I
Yep.
didn't catch it. Okay.
So we're doing this, and it was funny. We called was it HTG Supply at the time? They were selling light packages. It was a good idea back then. You get the hood, the bulb, the ratchet, the light ratchets, and the ballast all came in one box, $300 or something. Couldn't beat it. And we're like, shit. So we call up HTG like, yo, can we get 30 light packs? We're gonna put them in our grow shop, And they were like, at the time, they're like, nah, they didn't even want to deal with us because we thought we were talking to a distributor or something. They're like, nah, we were going to be competition to them.
Oh, okay. So this was, you were 25. What year was this?
2009.
2009. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, about a year before I came to California, it was, shit was fucking starting to boom.
Yeah.
Starting to boom. When didn't Colorado come legal like in 12?
Yeah, I don't know that. I
2012,
don't know that
13?
date.
Do you know, Josh, remember Colorado? Just by chance? 13, something like that. Okay, so 2009, okay, all right.
Close.
So it was your
Yeah,
partner
so-
and your pops, and then
Yeah.
you...
So
you
he was like, shit. So he was going to be a partner, majority owner. Tyson and I had just come. My partner's name's Tyson. We're just coming into, we're going to be the growers. We're like, I don't know, we're going to get paid by the hour, make a little small percentage, whatever. And we do the whole thing. We hook up with Hydro Farm. Next thing you know, we got the shop, gear coming in, and day one, we're about to open the shop. My stepfather's cell phone rings. He's in the back office. I hear he picks up the phone, gets offered a job for, buku money. He couldn't pass it down. Hung up the phone. He goes, guys, I'm out of here.
Okay.
And Tyson and I are stoners, construction workers. We don't know nothing. I don't know anything about running a business, especially retail, nothing. Literally flying off the seat of our pants. Had no idea what was going on. And
So you guys looked at each other and said, fuck,
yeah,
what are we going to
we're
do?
like, fuck, So I took a stack of business cards, and back then we had what was called RIPAC in Rhode Island, Rhode Island Patient Advocacy Coalition. It was meetings where cancer patients and growers could meet. Because it was so taboo back then, they had to meet in libraries where, underground and all this. And so I go to the meeting, passing out business cards. We'll help you build your grow. We'll help you teach. We'll do this, that. People are coming up going, you can't do that. What are you, crazy? You're going to get arrested. What the hell are you doing? We had a lawyer on retainer because we knew we were walking a fine line back then.
Right,
So
okay. Yeah.
we did it anyway.
Most growers do. And then,
Yeah.
and even no fine line, we just straight.
Yeah. So, well, we knew we were putting ourselves out there.
Right.
And so go to the shop, pass out all those business cards. Literally the next day, front door of the shop was just ding, ding, ding. People coming through the front door, and it was just, the rest is history, man.
Sick. Okay, all right. That was good.
For real.
So what? So from that point in time, you said hydrofarm. Was Sunlight Supply around at that? Yes, Sunlight
Supply. And back then, they had the distance restriction. We can't sell to you because there's a shop 5 miles away from you. They already represent us.
Okay.
So it was a race to get to the products back then before someone else did. Like canna. I could not get canna in my shop no matter how hard I tried.
Because somebody else had it close.
Canna was down the street. They had a deal with Canna. They would not sell to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can respect that though, because
Yeah.
if you had it, you'd want them to
Yeah.
do that for you guys too.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long did you? So anyway, people started coming in, and you started teaching, and obviously you grew.
Yeah.
You grew. Did you outgrow that spot, or did
We
you
were
stay in that
we were
spot?
growing, so we started with a little 1,500 square foot shop, and we had a couple back rooms. It was an old tannin salon, so we had like tannin booths that we ended up building a couple grows in. Just so nothing like this back then. It was not even close to that.
No, I remember
Yeah.
what it was back then. There's no way.
Air cooled lights, ductwork, glass, cleaning the glass.
Yes.
It's crazy. But we had the display in the shop, and people came in, they could see it. And next thing you know, so now my partner and I, we're working the shop from Monday through Saturday. And on Sunday, we're building grows. So we're working 7 days a week and then running our own grows through the night. So it was nuts.
Yeah, just to anybody that's watching this right now, the grower's life. You might have a job, but guess what? The grow room still needs attention, and the only time that you have is at nighttime because nobody wants you, nobody needs you, everybody's sleeping. But the growers, guess what? They're grinding, and that's why when we talk about these legacy guys and the passion, this is exactly what we're talking about. We did this because it was fun, it was passion. Obviously, had money with it because I don't think anybody would do it if there was no money. Money has to be involved in there. Anybody that says, "Oh, for the love of the plant," whatever, yeah, it's all good. But you know what? We all made money, and it made everything easier. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. So, so you were working 7 days a week. You were burning the candle at both ends.
Crazy, for sure. 7 days a week, day and night.
Did that shop? Did you outgrow that shop? What happened?
So we ended up expanding. It was in like a strip mall.
Okay.
So we ended up just spreading it out. And we didn't know anything about retail or anything. So we had no garage door. We had no back door to our shop. Nothing. All we had was a standard 36-inch door to the front. For 16 years, we had that shop. Well, we recently closed that store. I don't run the retail anymore. But for 16 years, we carried every single bale of Pro Mix through that door.
Oh my God.
Every single bag of cocoa, every nutrient bottle, light, everything got broken down in pallets outside and carried into the store.
And I was going to get to that point that I know that we talked earlier, and you said that you finally closed the retail shop down, and you actually beat me to it, and it is incredible. That's an incredible story. So you were there since how long ago did you close it?
It was last August.
Last August. So you operated roughly 15, 16 years?
Yeah, 16 years. We had 2 shops. We opened another one in Mass. That shop never really took off like our Providence one.
Okay.
Providence, Rhode Island was always the bread and butter. But
so 16 years, and that's funny that you say that had no back door because all grow stores have back doors for the pallets you know, the pallets that, you know, they drop off the truck. So you guys actually
No
break it down?
garage door, no pallet. You couldn't bring a whole pallet in with a pallet jack. It just wasn't possible.
So you guys
There was
didn't-
3 stairs up to the store.
Okay.
And then a 36-inch entry door.
Oh my God! You guys never thought of, you know, maybe we should relocate it
mean,
back?
we-
You know, I was 16 years, somewhere along the line of like 8. You know, year 10, year 8, year 6. It's like, we should. You know, we're growing. We should maybe relocate.
So I wanted to buy the building right next door. It was an old mechanic shop, ground level, big garage doors, ready to go. The landlord we were at wouldn't let us out of our lease. He tells us, I don't care where you go, but you owe me another year of rent.
Okay.
So I'm like, shit. Hoping nothing happens, the building ends up selling, we lost it. And then there's grow shops in every direction you look at now. You know, you got a few years in, now grow shops are everywhere.
Yeah, they're
So
popular.
like,
It's the cool thing.
this
to do.
was our spot. Like, we couldn't leave this area.
Uh-huh.
Because we were like, this is where we were known, you know? So we just literally rocked it for 16 years, and it was the wildest thing.
I gotcha. So then you evolved. You guys were.
What's up, guys? It's Mango here, and we're in the center of the Mango Tech showroom. Today we're going to discuss the inner canopy light line from Thinker LED. In front of me, we have the Formula One, the ICL 300, the flagship of Thinker LED. The next one to discuss is the ICL 150, and in the front of that is the ICL 120. The reason why these numbers are there is because of the degree that the lights spread. All these lights operate on a digital signal. That means that you have to use a lot less LMA14s with other companies that use 0 to 10 volt. We use 1 LMAT for hundreds of lights. Let's start discussing the flagship, the ICL 300. ICL 300s are an inner canopy light that you set inside the canopy and not under the canopy. In front of the ICL 300, we have the ICL 150. Once again, 150s for 150 degrees. This is also 4-spectrum tunable, and this can be a little bit higher in your canopy because it's going to shine in 150 degrees. In front of the ICL 150 is the ICL 120. 120 watts, shines up in 120 degrees. It's good, dependable, just like your Corollas or your Fiats, but it is souped up. I don't see why you wouldn't buy from the Mango Tech store. We have the lowest price guarantee, price match guarantee, money back guarantee, and absolutely, hands down, the best customer service out of any shop in the world. We ship from 4 different hubs around 3 continents around the world. Hit us up, www.mangotech.store.
You were selling. You know, obviously you were selling equipment, picks and shovels, and you were teaching people. At what point did you say, okay, you started doing the big ones? Because I know now you do some big jobs, because you got an account with Trollmaster, Thinker LED, and I see the number of lights that go out sometimes, or the controllers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I know kind of what's going on behind the scenes. Sometimes they use our lights, sometimes they don't. I know you have nothing to do with that. It's just whatever the client wants. But what was the breakthrough to go from, like, you know, mom and shop kind of grows to, okay, going to the commercial grows?
Yeah.
What was your first commercial grow contract?
So it was, so Rhode Island ended up graduating to dispensaries at one point, and then they had licensed cultivators. So now these cultivators are licensed by the state. You know, now these are legit. People know where they are. They're out front. Now that's the bigger grows. So we started building some. I had a couple good friends, good customers that were getting into that game. So they allowed us to get into that, and that's when we kind of started doing the big commercial stuff. And we
Yo, Brad, I got a license. I'm gonna build this grow.
Yeah.
Come on, let's
put 100. I'm
design
gonna
it.
put 100 lights up. You know, I need an irrigation system. Things like
And
that.
100 lights back then, that was huge.
Oh yeah, that was
big. That was
you
big
were big
back then.
time. You
That
know?
was like, dude, you were massive. So I got 100 lights. Whoa, that's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, yeah.
That ain't really shit
Now you wouldn't even be able to survive with a 100 lighter
No,
in
that
the
ain't
rec
shit.
market.
That's a bomb room.
Yeah, and we hear it all the time in the rec market. I got a small 100 lighter. It's going to be craft cannabis. It's like, I'm sorry, man. You know,
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
I don't care how good it is. You're not going to be able to produce enough at a low enough cost to make it work.
To deal with these guys, yeah, because that's why I tell people now that the numbers work nowadays when you're growing bulk.
Mm-hmm.
Bulk works, you know, for these kind of numbers that we're getting for the packs now.
Yeah.
And I want to find where the sweet spot is, like, you know,
Yeah.
the most for the least,
Yeah.
kind of in a way.
So the Rhode Island market starts taking off. Now the grows are getting a little commercial. So now we start looking into rolling benches. we never really saw those before. We weren't working with those. We were working with the Botanicare trays and just the standard stuff you get from the supplier. So
typical, grow table and then aisles.
And then customers are buying these benches. They're showing up on pallets and pieces, and we're like, oh, we can build these. I think it took me a full 8 hours to build my first 20-foot rolling bench. I had to figure the thing out. We had no idea what was going on. But that's really where we got started. Like I said, the Rhode Island market, commercials, started building this, doing that. And then we got good at the rolling benches, and I noticed the rolling benches everybody's buying them. Nobody knows how to put them together. So I reached out to the manufacturer who was making the benches, and I'm like, hey, we're getting pretty good at this. If you ever need guys in the area, because they were out in the country elsewhere. I said, if you guys are making sales, and if you want to have some installers, let us know. We're here. And shout out to Chris Mayer from Innovative Growers Equipment at the time.
Okay.
He was the first one to take a chance on us.
Okay.
I flew out. My partner and I flew out to his factory in Illinois. We met with him. And at the time, I mean, this is years ago. I mean, Chris, I don't even think he was 30 years old yet.
Young kid.
Yeah, we're standing in his factory. He comes walking out of the back, and I look, never thought twice. I would have never in a million years thought that was him. Comes walking up, hey, I'm Chris. I'm like, what the hell?
Okay.
This kid's young. I'm like, wow. And he's got this massive factory doing, I don't even know what they were doing back then, probably 50, 60 million a year in sales.
Damn.
On benches.
What's his background? Is it like somebody, I've never met Chris. I don't think I've ever met
Pretty
Chris.
sure he's an engineer. He's a metal engineer.
That's what somebody said. Okay.
Yep. And then, I don't know, I know the whole family works at the factory. The brother, the sister, the brother-in-laws, everybody. It's a whole family operation over there. And they do good.
No, they did well. They sold that. They sold that thing for a pretty penny at one point to Hydrofarm.
So we go out there, and I'm like, Chris, so we sit down in his thing, and I flew all the way to Illinois. I'm like, wow, I gotta have a meeting with this guy. I gotta try and win him over. What am I gonna do? We sit down. He's like, so, what are we thinking? I'm like, Chris, I just want all your builds in my area. He goes, let's do it. I mean, I think we were in the room 5 minutes. There was nothing else to talk about after that.
Perfect.
Like
in
shit.
a sense, he was looking. You were looking for him to agree, but he was looking for a guy like you.
Yeah.
Because now he's going to sell a lot more benches.
Yeah.
Just as excited as you
So
were
that
to meet
would-
him.
yeah.
I think he was just as excited to meet you.
We're just
Like,
looking
fuck
at
yeah.
each other. He's like,
Full service.
Want to go get lunch?
Conversation's over, baby. Let's
like,
do it.
shit.
Let's go consummate the marriage over some food.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's cool. Okay.
That was back, so it was a while before that happened. It was probably COVID time, 21, 22, when COVID was about to hit. So we make that deal, we go back, and then COVID really hit, lockdown everybody. You couldn't even, leave your house, all this bullshit's going on. So like, shit, I'm like, just made this deal, and now I got fucking shit on, I'm like, fuck. Meanwhile, he's making, he's selling benches here, he's selling benches there, selling benches here. Nothing's going on, but the sales are happening. All of a sudden, the COVID thing kind of lifted. Phone rings, he's like, hey, I need you in here, 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 here. Now there's five different grows in Massachusetts, benches, racks coming in hot, truckloads, and I only got 4 or 5 employees at the time. I'm like, shit.
Now you got another problem.
I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna
You got
do?
another problem.
Yeah. So, again, just made it happen, man. We figured it out. Got on the phone, started calling people. I got friends. I had friends coming in that they had other jobs. I'm like, are you doing anything on Thursday? Come with me.
Phil, yeah, okay, I got you.
We're gonna go build racks. And
Any of those guys that started with you back then still working with you today?
Mhm.
Sure. Okay, so you kept them.
we
Sick,
still got
okay.
guys.
And they probably now run, like I said, when you grow, you got to start, like you said, delegating, relinquishing some of the labor, and you start doing a lot of the paperwork, a lot of the emails, the computer work.
And as I have good lifelong friends that work for me that I've known since I was 5, 6 years old, and I can trust them. They're good. That can be a tough situation.
Double-edged sword.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
you
hard.
so long that sometimes like, fuck, I'm going to do it my way. What's going to do? Fire me? I've known the guy for so long.
That's exactly it.
But,
So it's tough when you mix business, friendships, family, things
Yes.
like that. But we've been able to make it work. And today, one of my best friends, one of my first employees, he's pretty much taken my position.
Okay.
And I stay home with my daughter now, and he's running everything on the road for us.
I'm sure you're at home doing emails and all that.
Oh yeah. I'm still running the business from there. There's still a ton of bidding, pricing jobs and everything going on, orchestrating, ton of travel. We got guys going to 3, 4 different states every week. It was a
So
lot.
you got the Northeast locked in.
At that time, yeah. Now we're nationwide.
Okay, you'll go everywhere. Okay, so when you bid it out, I mean, and how, I know you don't want to get into this too much, but so if you're going nationwide, obviously you got to look at the job, you got to look at the prints, you know what's going to be involved. But then, do you put a number on the room and board, or is that as long as you're there, they pay for it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just part of the quote. You know, it's travel expenses.
Okay.
Every job's bid the same.
Okay.
Equipment, you know, not, I shouldn't say the same. We look at the equipment, what it takes to install that stuff. But that's not, you know, that's a base number.
Okay.
And then we think about how long it's going to take us to be there. And then that's an extra number on top of it from there.
What's an average grow in light that you do nowadays? Because the numbers are staggering.
Yeah, I mean, right now, we're in Minnesota right now doing a 120,000 square foot facility.
Okay.
It's 22 grow rooms.
Yeah, Minnesota's popping right now. It's like the hottest.
Minnesota's like on
It's the
fire
hottest
right
thing.
now, on fire. But we've been there. Shit, I rented the house in August, and we're still there. I just keep signing another 3-month lease out there.
Okay.
we
And
got-
keep the workers
I
stay
drove
there.
our,
And then, okay.
yeah, I drove our vans from Rhode Island
Okay.
to Minnesota, so we have our own work vehicles there. We got houses rented there, and we've been there since August. It's only, I'd say it's about halfway done. It would be further along, but you know, Urban Growth started that.
Huh.
It went out of business on that
Oh
job.
shit,
So
they did. So you
left
guys
the,
took it over.
left the customer with, you know, their fucking pants down, unfortunately. So
Wow.
took a little bit to get that back going, but that's a big job. Other jobs, like we just did one in New Jersey, 2 flower rooms, a veg, dry room, full build, racks, lights, drainage, full troll master install, irrigation, everything. You know, 4 weeks we can do them.
How many people?
6, you know, 5, 6 people, different crews though. Like I have we have a rack crew that goes out, we have a lighting crew, and then I have different guys that come in and do, not everybody can install the Troll Master, you know, without training.
Correct.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we have specific guys that do Troll Masters, specific guys that do irrigation.
And,
Yep.
and the guys
then
that
we
do the
have,
racking.
you know,
yes, okay.
racking, benching, lighting. Yeah, it's different crews. So we'll send one crew down. They'll maybe do 2 weeks, get it all set up, racks, lights, fans, air systems. They leave, go to another job, and then the Troll Master irrigation crew comes in,
The techie guys come
picks
in.
it up from there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then the techie guys are in there probably at the same time that the irrigation guys are there too, because
Correct.
they're that's in its own specialty in a way.
Yep, definitely.
What's the biggest grow that you've ever done?
So the biggest one, number-wise, is actually might even be the one in Minnesota right now. But we've had some good commercial sales go through there. The travel expenses, you can't really count travel expenses in the cost of the, you know, in profitability anyway, because it's costing you that anyway.
Right.
The biggest job for sure, like back in the day, the biggest one we ever did was in Massachusetts at the time. It was for AYR.
Okay.
It was 100,000 square feet of rack, 65 semi-loads. It was coming in from IGE.
Massive.
65 semi-loads.
65.
And that was early. I'm talking like 2023.
Oh, really? Okay.
You know,
65 52-foot trailers full of.
Conestogas.
Racking
You
equipment.
know, they open up. They're like an accordion.
I think you were saying like 5,000 lights or something.
5,000 fluence lights went into that building.
And then the most incredible thing is that
Is a vacant right now.
is vacant.
Sitting there empty.
They walked away from it.
Yep.
Did it operate for any
I don't think they ever got it fully operational. From what I know is that about 50% it was running. And then they were trying to lease the building to other people. Hey, you guys, anybody want to use this and that? And,
What was the issue? Was it because they couldn't man it? There wasn't enough. There was too much supply. There wasn't enough demand for the product.
exactly what it is.
Well,
Too much canopy in Massachusetts.
too much canopy.
They over-licensed it. You know, the state doesn't care.
No,
They just want to pump those licenses out and tell, you know, to each his own.
that's a
Yeah.
double-edged sword for the industry because everybody says, you know, everybody should be able to have a license. You know, everybody should be able to have a license, and then they bitch and complain when there's a restriction of licenses. But then when there's a lot of licenses, there's a double-edged sword too. That you know, you got to wish. Be careful what you wish for, because everybody should have a license. So then you spend all your money, your retirement money, your wife's money, your parents' money, and then everybody could do the same thing that you do, and then guess what? Now you lost everything, and you have to fold shop.
Yeah.
So I understand that everybody should be able to do the same thing, but at the same time, no regulation. Look what happened in Oklahoma too. Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It's just they're starting to shut it down because it was the Wild Wild West.
Yeah. And that's
Same thing with California. I'm not gonna lie to you, California is crazy
sure.
too.
Yeah.
There's so many
like you just
grows.
said, it's so saturated here. It's the same thing.
Saturated. So, and then that's what brings the price down.
It's funny though, like you just said, like you send all your money, your mom's money, your wife's money. You're taking home equity loans out to start these
Everything.
places, And those were the trap growers. Those are the OGs, the legacy guys that all of a sudden, wow, this is going to be legal. I'm gonna, this is my dream.
Right, to grow weed forever, and it's going to stay at this price forever. No, that doesn't
Wrong
happen.
again. What happened is, now they legalize it. Now big money turns their heads.
Yes.
Oh, what's going on over here?
Okay. We're not going to jail no more.
Now we're looking at, guys probably never smoked weed a day in his life. Doesn't even know what a pot plant looks like.
They don't have to.
But he sees money.
He sees money, and he can pay
Yep.
people to do it. So that's crazy. AYR Wellness, and I know them because we sell them products in Florida.
Yeah.
And I just saw that there was a guy on Instagram that showed a video of this. There was a AR Wellness grow in New Jersey, I believe, 5,000 light or two.
Yep.
They had, I think it was innovative grows equipment racks.
It was.
five tiers or something crazy. It was like 5 tiers. These things were massive.
Yep.
And there was a bobcat in there just demolishing these things
Yeah.
down.
I got the phone call actually to see if we were interested in the racking.
Yeah, they had a bunch of Foch lights.
Yep.
They went with the wrong lights.
thing. You want
That's
these
why-
racking?
That's why I fell through. They went with the wrong lights. Let me tell you. I know I'm talking shit, but I have to. But anyway, I'm watching this bobcat, this beautiful, huge, fucking massive rooms with 3 or 4 or 5 tiers, and this bobcat is just crushing these brand new racks, and they're just tumbling, and they're just with the grapplers, and I'm going, what happened? So I called my boy, dude, what was it? He goes, it was a 5,000 light grow in New Jersey. They had it half built, half the lights, and then they needed more power. This was the story that I got. They needed more power. And the city said, well, for you to get more power, you have to build a school, or you have to do this or that. The city is like, okay, these guys are cannabis guys. They're going to have all the money in the world. We're going to get this from them. And then I think AR Wellness was, fuck you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And they tore it all down.
Oh man.
They tore it down. Because I know a couple of guys that got all the AGS ion AC units from the top.
Yeah, yeah.
All the units down, and then they brought some back here to Sacramento. So they got a couple of semis, and whatever they could take, they could put in there and bring back.
Yeah, and that's not the only grow they shut down like that. Like you said, they did the Massachusetts one, and I mean, we're not talking small money to build this place. I mean,
No, you were talking like
all in, there was $85 million to build that.
$85 million. Oh
But
my
these companies,
God, dude,
and
it's
that's why I'm talking when you like they say,
crazy.
that's like I'm saying, a guy like me and my partner, to even think about getting into something, it's not even an option.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe I'm saying it, but we got it. The new WCS9 water content sensor by TrolMaster. And let me tell you, this thing is next level. We've spent months of R&D and extensive testing with these units here at our Sacramento cannabis facility to make sure that the product was perfect for the launch to the public. The TrolMaster WCS9 is the peak of the WCS series. Engineered with a completely redesigned internal multi-node architecture to deliver unparalleled precision in monitoring both traditional soil and high bulk EC soilless substrates. Compared to other competitors in the market, this WCS9 is listed at $199. Here at the MangoTech store, we specialize in TrolMaster and ThinkGrow LED equipment. And if you would like a WCS9 sensor, visit the mangotech.store and shop online, or give us a call for a free quote. And remember, if you have any old sensors laying around, visit trollmaster.com for this free swap upgrade program. If you're a MangoTech store customer and you've bought these sensors with us, give us a call and we'll take care of the swap with you. We hope to hear you guys' feedback on the WCS9 sensors, and we're very excited for the future to come with these bad boys.
We don't have that kind of money behind us. Who the hell you know, you're competing with publicly traded companies that can drop $85 million and then a year later say, well, that didn't work. We're out of here.
That is tremendous.
You know,
oh my God, here I'm crying about the money that we
you know,
spent over here.
yeah,
we're trying to pay back.
It's crazy. And that's, you know, that's why we don't grow. That's why we got out of the grow. Because we had our opportunity back in Rhode Island.
I'm sure you did. You know, you're one of the, you know, the original ones.
You know, yeah, I wasn't a commercial grower back then. I was more of a mover.
Okay.
You know,
A broker.
Broker. Yeah. I did my own thing. I did my thing, but it was nothing scaled. You know, and so my partner had a spot. He had the license of doing everything legit, all proper, and then Rhode Island came out with those cultivator licenses. So to do that, you had to submit an application. Yada yada yada. They'd come visit your grow. They'd do a walkthrough, make sure you're good, and then you get a yay or nay approval. So we had them down to his spot. They walked through. I get an email from the Cannabis Commission. Before we pass judgment on this application, we'd like you to come down to our office. Okay. So I go down there, and the guy sits me down at a table, and he says, "Explain to me why I should give you a legal license when you're catering to the black market."
Okay.
I go, "Excuse me?" He goes, "I follow your Instagram."
Oh my God. No way.
Yeah, he goes, we know what you're doing. You know, we see what's going on. He's like, "You tell me why I should give you." And I said, "Hey, you know, what HydroEarth does has nothing to do with what we're trying to do over here. This is a whole separate business. This would be a different, you know, totally different entity." And he just goes, "Okay." And I get the email the next day, approved.
Oh, sick. Oh my God.
So like,
And
oh,
you're
fuck.
right. And you're right. You know, I mean, there's a difference.
Yeah, just because it's the same owner, there's no tie there. We're not, you know, integrated.
Over there, I'm going to do the right thing. You know, I'm going to abide
Yeah.
by the law that you
Yeah.
set.
So now
in the hydro store. I don't know if these guys are using this cocoa or this dirt or whatever I give them to grow weed. Who am I to judge?
So now I know they're watching, you know? So I'm like, shit. And he did ask me before I left, he goes, "Just go easy on posting the harvest pictures, you know? We're posting pictures of weed hanging, big drops." And he's like, "Just..."
But that's even gay as hell too. Like,
Yeah.
don't post so you can post everything growing, but then when the fruits of your labor come out, you can't post that. That's what sells tickets.
So, you know, Tyson and I, we start looking at the writing on the wall. We're looking at the numbers of what it's going to cost. Now there's a licensing fee too. I forget what it was. I think it was like $150,000 a year just to hold the license. So January 1st of every year, you are negative 150 grand every single year going into this. So we're like, fuck, how are we going to make this work?
That's a tough one to
That's
make
tough.
back.
And they only had 3 dispensaries, so it's like a monopoly. They could buy your weed if they wanted or not.
Right.
Didn't matter. So we're like, we ain't doing this. We're just going to stay true to what we're doing. We're going to keep building these grows. Let's just keep chasing these grows and keep doing our thing. And that's why I say everybody went right to build grows.
Yes.
We went left.
You went left.
And it paid off.
So you guys never even took that license? Never.
We didn't. And the funny, you know, we're not stupid. We've been in the game a long time. We tear the whole place down, clean it all out. Then I send a nice professional email back to the commission. You know, we really thank you for the opportunity, appreciate it. We're going to pass. We're going to just stay doing what we're doing with HydroEarth. We're going to work with the cultivators, be a build, all this. Never got a response from anybody. Next day, building inspectors banging on the door, trying to shut us down.
At the hydro shop?
Yeah, no, at the grow.
At the grow.
Yeah, but we had already cleaned it out.
You already cleaned it up?
We knew they were coming. You know, we ain't stupid. So.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So we waited, and they went there. It was empty. There was nothing for them to see anyway. So we had already shut it down.
You're talking obviously not the unlicensed one.
It was an operational grow.
Okay.
Rhode Island medical grow for just patients.
Okay.
We were trying to get it to a state-registered cultivation center.
Okay.
That would sell to dispensaries.
Now I follow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
when we told them we didn't want to do that, they came up.
Bam.
Dude, next day.
Wow.
Never even responded to my email.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Fuck these guys. Fuck these guys.
Yeah.
After all this work that they came over here and got us to approve.
We know where you're at. You showed us where you're at, so we
Yeah.
ain't stupid. We knew they were coming.
Interesting.
Before we even sent the email, it was all cleaned out, broken down. And, yeah. Sure as shit,
Interesting.
they came down. So they were watching. And
You ever get in Rhode Island? everybody's always got a story from the past. You have any stories? You guys ever get raided or anything like that?
So, funny story. Early on, we're building
They're
grows.
funny now.
yeah.
You can laugh about them now, but I'm telling you, they're not funny then.
We were building a grow for a guy in Narragansett, Rhode Island. Typical Sunday, go out, we're coring holes in the side of the house, we're putting vents in, a little bit. It was a split level ranch. You go in the front door, stairs up, stairs down.
Yeah.
You go down, he had a wall built, like there was no, that side of the building didn't exist.
Okay.
You move a shelf, go to a little cubby, and there was a whole grow in there. We're in there building the whole thing, whatever, never thought anything of it. A month or so goes by, I'm in the shop, I'm at the counter, I'm on the phone. Guy walks in, he's looking around, I'm on the phone, I'm like, oh, listen, if you got an odor problem, no big deal, come down, we got filters, we're all set, we'll take care of you, it's not a big deal. I hang up the phone, I'm like, sir, can I help you? He walks up to the counter, slaps a federal subpoena on the counter. He goes, so we're subpoenaing you for questioning for the grow. We were seen at so-and-so's house. We raided it. The guy was being watched. The house was under surveillance.
Oh, shit, well, you were fucking working
We were
on
there. We pull up in the work truck, humping grow lights in the house, but same thing. I go down to the subpoena. I sit with these guys. It never ended up being federal. They had me sit with the Narragansett police at the time. Guy just had questions. What'd you see in there? Nothing. What were you doing? Just putting grow equipment in. The guy had a medical license,
Right.
There was plants in there at the time and shit,
Right.
but I didn't see nothing. I just,
Right,
we were
exactly.
there building some grow.
What you got paid for, right?
Just doing our work. And it ended up, they said, you were just providing a service. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Oh, wow.
Walked
Okay.
out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, someone's always got some kind of a story.
And once that happened, we were like, oh, we knew it's game on now.
You got to be careful.
We're going everywhere. I don't care if anybody's under surveillance now.
Oh, because you got away with it.
Yeah.
Because you got away with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was easy.
Yeah.
See, we had nothing to do with this. See, I didn't see anything. Okay, I got that. I got that.
Yeah.
So, you obviously installed a shit ton of lights, and like I said, you installed TrowMaster. And how did we meet? I forget, how did we meet?
Oh, shit.
Was it MJ Biz or before that? I think it was
Might have been
before
an
that.
MJ Biz.
I think it was before that. We talked through Instagram, I think, or
Yeah, it
something.
was probably Instagram. We were, I'd like to think that HydroEarth was a pioneer on the East Coast. We were always the first ones into certain things.
I think so. I would say so.
And especially way back in the day, undercurrents. Deep water culture,
Yes,
the undercurrents.
yeah.
We were a huge
Yours was
distributor.
just down the street over here.
Yeah, that's Daniel
about
over
an hour-
there.
Yeah,
I was actually
Daniel,
just talking to Daniel.
About an hour south of here.
Yeah, he said he wants to come up and visit you. I told him I was coming out, but he was be busy down in L.A. this week.
You know, I should have him on the podcast. He's been
Yeah,
around
he
for a
wants to
long
come
time.
up. Yeah, he's mentioned that he wants to come up and see you. But so we got into undercurrents. I mean, I can't even tell you how many undercurrents we sold back then.
Really?
And so again, innovator there, but
That the undercurrents works for that low plant count. Big, massive
accelerated
plants,
growth.
Accelerated growth, big, massive.
That thing can turn on you.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. One thing goes bad, the whole crop is dead.
Oh yeah.
So it's really not forgiving. 100. I agree with that. I think the least forgiving is aeroponics, but it gets you the most. That's where you missed. You missed.
And that's what they're into now. Current culture's doing that
Yeah,
now.
missed.
It's
Then
all
the
aero.
next one is water culture. And then after that is rockwool, and then from there you could probably go to cocoa, peat moss, soil.
Back in the day, it was ebb and flow too.
Yeah, Everflow.
That
Yes.
was always my favorite. The ebb and flow buckets.
Yeah, but okay,
Yeah.
where it fills up and then it goes down.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's kind of like hydro,
Flood-
kind of
flood and
rockwool.
drain.
What I mean, from least forgiving to most forgiving, is I would say aeroponics, then undercurrent, aquaponics,
Yeah.
rockwool, cocoa. Well, yeah, cocoa, or rockwool, cocoa, and then the ebb and flow. Because ebb and flow can be either hydrogen
Yeah.
or rockwool.
Hydrogen, what a nightmare.
Hydrogen or rockwool.
Balls are all over the house.
I call it dog food.
They're everywhere.
I used to call it dog food.
Every 20 minutes, the pH is back to 9.
Oh my god!
You're like, what the hell's going
Because
on?
we did a combination of like rockwool and hydrogen. Where we used a 1 gallon bucket, fill it to a certain point of hydrogen, then drop a 3-inch cube of rock wool, and then fill the rest of it with hydrogen,
Yeah.
and it was just feed to waste,
my
feed to
God,
waste,
what
feed
a
to
shit
waste.
show.
Yes. So so kind of the ebb and flow, would work with the hydrogen or the rock wool.
Yep.
I don't know if it would work too good with cocoa
It would. You'd have to put like a smart pot or a fabric pot in there to hold it.
as a filter. As if you not the cocoa would just go everywhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
clog all your pumps up. And everything.
Yes,
So
crazy.
we did that as well. But the most forgiving by far is soil.
Yes,
You
soil
know,
is the most
You can
forgiving.
walk away from that
You
in 4
can't
days,
fuck
come
that.
back,
You
it's
almost
still
can't
alive.
fuck that thing up.
Might have some lower leaves dead, but it's still alive.
Yeah. That's fine. That's great. So then you were telling me a story that when you say you're a smoker, but we obviously we grow up, we don't smoke as much anymore.
Yeah.
You were telling me a story about dabbing. You know, what was your first experience with
Oh,
dabbing?
yeah. So, like I said, back in the day, we were chasing products. You wanted to be the first one to have the product on the shelf in case someone else did, and they wouldn't give it to you. So at the time, we reached out to, we couldn't get Canna, so the next best thing was House and Garden, being the Van der Zwaan out of Amsterdam or the Netherlands. It was the competition to Canna. And Humboldt Wholesale up in Humboldt had the rights to it. So saying I'm on the phone, I make the connections. They're like, yeah, we're going to be in Colorado for the Max Yield show back then. You remember the Max Yield shows?
Well, Maximum Yields were, dude. Those were pretty cool shows.
Yeah.
I went to a few in California. That was the Maximum Yield magazine. That was the magazine that
Yep.
that was the shit there for a while.
That was-
and then they had their shows, and I remember they used to get packed because everybody would walk out of there with bags. full
Those
of
were the
samples.
best. Those were the days. Those were the glory days. Max Yield shows.
Yes.
Everything was cash back then. Every shop in the industry was just cash. All the big distributors were making buku money. They'd have after parties at every. We went to Max Yield shows all over the country. They would have after parties all night. They'd rent out the whole club, VIP the whole place, and just bottles out all night. Just in some of the most insane parties I've ever been to back then.
Yeah, but like I said, just like you said, those were the golden years, the era that everybody
That
was
the
just.
peak.
It was just like that. It was
That
just
was the
fucking
peak.
going.
And then it went legal, and it kind of
Yeah.
legalization.
Legalization, it was a weird thing. Like legalization did kind of peak off for I guess you could say the illegal market, the trapper market.
Yeah.
But it also made a boom for the rec, the
Yeah.
commercial guys, and then, so it still kind of climbed that way. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So I have a love-hate relationship with legalization.
Okay.
You know, it changed us. We went from a cash business to the black market. Crushing. I mean, we had a money counter in the back room at our shop running all the time. Just dropping stacks in that thing constantly. Going to the bank with a backpack, like into the bank. And then legalization happened and the black market took a shit. But we wouldn't be where we are today if legalization never happened.
You were telling me a story
Yeah.
earlier when I was telling you my banking issues that you never really got shut down for banking for cash, but what was it?
Yeah, so-
so when people pay you cash, you go to the bank and deposit cash.
Yeah.
Whatever. But then if somebody cut you a check,
We've had the same bank since day one.
still to this day.
And I just said,
That's
I'm
crazy.
walking in this bank with backpacks full of cash back in the day. Depositing, nobody says a word. Years go by, years. Legalization hits. We work for, it might even have been Cresco at the time. Big sale happens for Cresco out in Massachusetts. They pay with checks, they don't pay cash.
Right now,
Yeah. I get this piece of paper, $700,000. I'm like,
Shit.
yeah, go to the bank.
Sick as a check.
Yeah. Yeah.
For once, I'm not going with
Go to
a
the-
backpack
you know?
full of cash.
Yeah.
Then you're proud.
I go to the bank, just give it to them. 2 days later, I get a call. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut you loose. You're not gonna be able to do banking here anymore because you're in the cannabis industry. So I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I've been a customer here for. The business name hasn't changed. The only thing that changed is I just gave you a check instead of bringing in piles of cash.
And cash was good. Cash was cool.
Yeah.
We reported it. You're fine with it.
It was because they could follow the trail. They could follow the paper trail and trace
Right.
it back to cannabis. So I'm like, shit. So I appealed it at the time.
And when you told me that earlier that you appealed it, just Chase don't let you appeal shit. It's a final. You can't even. They don't have to tell you why. It's not negotiable. And just the other day, my son, hey, Dad, I talked to this guy at this other bank. He said you could appeal it. So I took my happy ass over there thinking, okay, I'm going to go appeal this thing. And once again, I told him, no, it's final. You can't appeal it. So I've been shut down from Bank of America. I've been shut down from Wells Fargo. I've been shut down with Chase. It's not appealable. And then, they don't have to give you a reason. Just they want to do business. But you had, so I can't believe that you were even able to appeal it. I don't know if it's a nationwide bank, but
I think it was local to where we are. It's a credit union.
okay, well, credit union is a little different, but
Yeah.
it was great, the excuse that you gave them, and I want you to tell
Yeah.
the viewers.
So I file the appeal. They say, all right, come on down to the bank headquarters and we'll have a meeting. Now I put a 3-piece suit on. That ain't me. I wear a,
You had to play their role. You had to dress like that.
yeah, I wear a suit to weddings,
Yeah, or a funeral.
Maybe,
Funeral.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I show up to the bank, take the elevator up to the 5th floor. They sit me down at this huge table. All of a sudden, the board members walk in. There's 14 of them.
Oh my
Sitting
God.
down.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sitting at the table, I'm like, what the fuck? Dumbest guy in the room sitting here. Suit on. I'm
Obviously
pouring
not.
sweat.
You're
I'm literally,
the dumbest guy in the room by the time the
Yeah.
whole conversation.
yeah.
And
So
then you're
I'm
the smartest
pouring
guy in the room.
sweat, and I'm like, so they're like, explain to us your business, what's going on, this and that. I said, listen, we do not touch cannabis at all. We work with customers. What our customers do with our product is not our business. If you call me down to build you a grow, and when I leave, what you grow in that grow has nothing to do with me. I have no idea.
All agricultural products.
So then I made the comparison. I said, you're going to tell me if Cresco goes to Home Depot and buys a stack of pots to grow their plants in, and Home Depot's doing their banking here with you're going to tell Home Depot they can't bank here anymore? And the guy was like a deer in the headlights.
I love this story.
Yeah.
You're gonna stop Home Depot from banking with you?
Yeah.
Because
And
and you know what? We all fucking shop at Home Depot, especially back then. Every
Yeah.
crapper.
Yeah.
And you cannot build a grow without going to Home Depot. I'm
So-
sorry.
So that's what I used. I said, I'm no different than Home Depot. I'm just a small garden shop. It's the same thing as their gardening section over there. Nobody cares what you're using their stuff for.
Right.
And so anyway, the appeal ends. They shake my hand. I leave. I think like a week went by or something. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I get a call from the bank. We decided to let you stay on. You're all set.
Sick.
Yeah, you're going to be good. We have one stipulation. They said we're gonna walk through your business once a year, and we're gonna just make sure there's no cannabis there.
Okay.
I said, fine. So
No problem.
So once a year we get a call from the bank. They come. They send someone down. Guy looks around. All right, have a nice day, and they leave.
Oh,
And we were good from that day on.
Gucci.
They never looked at me again. Yeah.
Oh, that is Gucci, but
Yeah.
that 100% makes sense. Like even Amazon, I'm sure we all shop at Amazon.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, the Amazon truck stuffs out our grow at least 3 times a week.
Yeah, and and you look at today. Like I don't have the retail store anymore, but today there is no cash. It's checks and bank wires. And,
Yes.
everything's wires and checks. And they
Oh.
don't say anything.
Yeah, well, for us, it's still a lot of cash.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of cash.
I'm jealous.
And we've, unfortunately, because, it's just the way, like I said, they shut down all our banks. So we do have a couple of credit unions, but, we also pay shit. Like, I go to the electric company and I pay the electric bill, 60 grand, 55 grand, 80 grand. But whether it depends whether it's summer.
With a money order. Can I get 15 money orders, please?
Oh my God, they were looking. That after after $2,500 or $2,000, they want to get your ID. It's like that would be nuts. I mean, so we just go and pay. We paid the bills with cash.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so we got off track there. But yeah, so the first dab I ever did. So I hook up with this Humboldt wholesale, and they said we'll be at the Max Yield Trade Show in Colorado. Fly in and come see us. So I'm like, cool. Tyson and I fly out to Colorado, and they were having a house party at the time. We landed on the plane. We never went we went straight from the airport to the house party.
Okay.
Get in, and guy opens the front door. We walk in. There was a table, dab rig, and jar full of looked like honey.
Yeah.
I'd never seen that before. I had no idea what that was.
Probably some shatter. Or
Yeah,
some,
back then
batter.
it was BHO. It was stringy.
Yeah.
I had no idea at the time. Never seen that before.
Live resin.
I'm from the East Coast. East Coast didn't have that back
Yeah.
then. So I'm like, meh. Guy goes, you smoke weed? Fucking right, I smoke.
Yeah, I smoke weed.
Of course I smoke.
I smoke more weed than anybody in here.
What kind of question's that?
Chimney.
Yeah. He goes, you want to hit? I go. He goes, it's hash. I go, oh. You know, guy blows my head off.
Oh, he gave you a big dab.
Dude, killed me. And there was no temp reg, dude. That
Oh, back in the day, that shit was hot.
dude. Glowing red.
Glowing red, and then you let it wait for like, they put a timer.
Yeah, I'm lucky I didn't puke. I was coughing so hard. And by the time I was done coughing, I made it out to the backyard. And now I'm like, I literally felt like my feet were 4 feet off of the ground. And I'm just mute at this time. Here comes the president of Humboldt Wholesale, vice president, the general manager. They come over to talk to me, and I just like, I couldn't get any words out.
Why did I do this?
The guy that just gave me the dab.
Just smoked.
The guy that just gave me the dab comes over. He goes, hey, this guy just hit the dab rig in there. You might want to give him like 20 minutes there. they all go, oh yeah,
Okay.
And it
Now
was-
we understand.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah,
you know.
that happens to me
Fucking-
sometimes. It was like, fuck, if I get too high, I'm like, oh my god, I shouldn't have smoked. Why did I smoke?
Yeah.
You start talking to yourself
I had
and
no
injuring
idea,
yourself.
like, stuttering. I'm like, what did I just do?
Yeah.
But so that's a funny story. But then, shit, we fly back to the East Coast. And again, we never seen that. So now we're looking it up, researching it. And, I don't want to confirm that we were the first people doing BHO on the East Coast, but I didn't know anybody doing it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I had a buddy that was blowing glass. We had him blow us a glass tube.
Right?
We're putting the screens with the hose clamps at the end,
Yes.
and we're just blasting BHO through the tube. That's dangerous.
Dangerous as shit.
Yeah, dude.
There was a guy that when we started blasting, we were blasting. Oh my god, this stupid shit. Then I think back, it's like I can't believe I didn't catch shit on fire.
Yeah.
But once you put all that weed in there, you run the butane through it, and then at the end, you're looking at like this little bit is like,
Yeah.
are you fucking kidding me?
It's just the vapor.
Yeah, but are you kidding? Yeah, but just
Oh, yeah.
the product after it's all rendered down. Like, are you kidding me? You sell that?
That's the-
So I'm like, you know what? Let me know when they got a machine, and I didn't know that they were going to make a machine. I just said, let me know when they come up with a machine that can recover the butane, because that's the cost.
Oh, yeah.
That's the cost, and I'm not
Yep.
spending a bunch of money on butane that's just going to go into the air, So about a year later, the kid tells me, hey, man, remember you told me about hit you up with that when they got a machine to recover the butane? I go, I never would have thought that would have. That was the smartest comment that I said.
Yeah.
And he told me that was my start in the extraction. We went all up and down the West Coast, looking at different companies that made the extraction equipment, and then we ended up buying the Bogart. And then
Yep,
we
yep.
started,
Yep.
extracting equipment.
Yeah, so we would just,
Extracting cannabis.
we would just freelance, blasting BHO outside into plates, and it was crazy though. It was,
Anybody ever catch on fire?
yeah, we had some fires, but nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy.
You see the stuff on the news, people's roofs blowing off their house.
Blow off. Yes.
Yeah, we never did anything
Quick
crazy like
lights.
that. But
Yeah. So how many projects you got going on right now?
right now, I would say there's 5 active projects going on right now, 5 different states.
How big? How big are the?
They vary anywhere from 2 flower rooms to 16 flower rooms.
Yeah, but like lights, how many lights? Like, is it like 100, 300, 1,000,
Yeah,
2,000?
300's a small scale now, and
Right.
then you get up to 2,500, 3 grand's pretty.
Normal.
That's a normal big
Normal
grow.
is, okay.
Single tier. You get into the double tier, now you're looking at a lot more lights. But
Yeah, so
single
and I
tier.
figured that the East Coast has a lot more double tiers because there's not as much space. Everything's
A lot of
more-
warehouses
a lot
out
of
there.
warehouses more populated that you have to get more for your buck.
Yeah, and we had, we built so much canopy out there that there's no work left out there. As far as Massachusetts, my hometown's Massachusetts, Rhode Island, there's no work left there. There's only maintenance work. Every once in a while you get a call, hey, come swap our lights out. So
Okay.
that's why we had no option to reach out, or we were going nowhere.
Right, you're not gonna get Right,
That's when we go nationwide.
Okay. Shit.
No.
So you'll come to California. You'll go to Arizona.
We'll
if it's
go-
big enough.
We've done builds in California. We've done builds in Arizona. We've done Oregon, Michigan. We're in Minnesota right now. Kentucky we've done. New Jersey, New York. I mean, the list goes on.
You'll install pretty much any system. I know that you mentioned earlier that you do that you've installed TrowMaster. You have TrowMaster guys, but you guys also install like Rhythm, GrowLink, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so we'll put on all the skids. We don't do any of the wiring.
Okay.
Yeah, we just do all the connections and the plumbing. So, if a GrowLink system comes in, we'll do the full irrigation system, right from setting the tanks, setting all the skids, right down to the drip emitter, plumbing all the pipes, everything.
All the valves.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we don't get into
Actuators.
wiring. We don't get into the wiring. That, requires permits. We don't do any permit work. We're just a specialty installation labor company.
You were telling me a story the other day. I was talking to you on the phone about you were installing lights. Okay, I remember.
That's
this
a
story.
new story.
Yeah, you were installing lights, and then somebody said that you could install the light because you weren't a union worker or a certified electrician.
We're a licensed electrician. That just happened in Minnesota. So we're there. We get contracted to do all the light grids. We do the unistruct grids, all the threaded rod, everything. We'll take the light out of the box. We put the light up. We do all the light layout. We do all the daisy chain connections, anything that's plug and play. And then at the end, we leave it hanging for the electrician to take it from there. It just takes the learning curve away from the electrician. We know everything about almost everything there is to know about grow lights. So
Right.
when we come in, there's no questions. A lot of these GCs you see these days, they don't know. They've never even seen these
They have no
grows.
clue. The questions that we get.
Yeah, it's
The questions
they have
that we
no
get back
clue.
there, it is nuts.
So it's like a breath of fresh air when we come onto the site for them because they don't have to worry about it. I
Right.
just say take that wire and power it. I need this many watts for this, and just power this right here. So we're in Minnesota. We're doing it. Electrical inspector comes out. He goes, "Who's putting these lights up?" My guy says, "Oh, we're doing it." So I get a phone call from the inspector. He goes, "Do you have a Minnesota electrical license?" No. He goes, "Well, in the state of Minnesota, you need an electrical license to touch any type of light fixture." I said, "Sir, we're just doing light grids with Unistrut. I open the box. The light comes out assembled with the hanger on it. I don't even have to put the hanger on it. And I just hook it to the Unistrut. And then we walk away." He goes, "You can't do that."
We don't even plug it in.
Yeah, he goes, "You can't do that."
Oh my! So I forgot what
Yeah.
the solution for that. You guys had to hire the company had to put an electrician in there to pretty much watch you do what
So
you were doing.
the option was we hire an electrician from the electrical company that's working on site and have him in the man lift with my guys, just basically doing nothing and paying this guy to just stand there, and we put the lights up, or we just handed it over to the electricians and so we kept going on the grids. The inspector said, "Yeah, you can keep doing the Unistruct grids, you just can't put the lights up."
Crazy.
And you're talking $100,000 contract to put these lights up.
So how did that work when you have a contract and then you were supposed to put the lights up and then you had to give them some money back? What happened?
Luckily, they didn't ask us for any money back.
Score.
Yeah.
We're gonna put that on you guys.
That was a kind of a don't ask, don't tell. Hey, nobody said anything. We'll just keep doing our thing.
No, he's like, no, we need tell. We can't do it. They told us we can't do it. They got to do it. We're not electricians.
That was in between the Urban Grow going out of business and this new general contractor coming on. So that kind of happened with Urban Grow, and then the new GC came on, and they had to figure everything out. So it kind of just happened that they hired the electrician to put the lights up, and they never questioned us about anything. Our contract stayed the same.
Insane.
Yeah, so that worked out. That worked
So,
out pretty good.
what's your outlook on the industry? What do you think the industry is going? Like, when do you think? Okay, so you're building this massive growth. You kind of are going out of your area now because you're built out. So now you're going nationwide.
Yep.
And now they just rescheduled.
I heard
which is
that
somewhat
today.
Yes,
That was
today.
today.
They rescheduled it, which is I was reading over it. It's a little bit retarded. There's the Schedule 80. Not Schedule 80. The 280E. They're gonna alleviate that, but you can't fucking beg. Make that make sense.
Yeah.
It's stupid and retarded. You can't. Now it's a Schedule 3. Now you can't do interstate commerce. Can't do that either. So it's like a fugazi rescheduling. So now you have to go outside of your area. At what point do you think it's going to get over? It's obviously going to get filled out. and then you might have to go back and remodel now places.
Yeah, so that's happening now, you know.
Because as you can see, we went to our place today. You can still, it's 3.5 years. These racks are in a caustic environment. You know, they get sprayed. There's nutrients. There's humidity. Light, and you can start seeing little pinholes or little areas that have little rust.
And it's good that you said that, having to go back and swap out lights, because we are doing that a lot. And that touches on these big grow companies getting in bed with these lighting companies that are they're nobodies. They're fly-by-night companies.
Yeah, because you were telling me some of the lighting companies that you're installing for.
You've never even heard of them.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, you don't even
install lights all the time.
They barely even have a website. You can't get any information on them. Yet you go into these facilities and there's thousands of them, 3,000 of them. Well, now they start failing. The power supplies are shit in the bed, this and that. That company went out of business a year ago.
Wow.
Now there's nobody to call.
Wow.
What are you going to do? We're at right now, I won't say their name, but we're in Massachusetts now doing a massive facility. It's multi-tiered. It's huge, probably close to 100,000 square feet. I think we're on the 14th room of full light swap, taking all their lights out and putting new lights in. Unfortunately, they're not using Think Grows like they should be.
I was just going to say, I'm sure that they didn't learn from the first one. They were using cheap-ass lights.
Yeah. They're putting fluences up now,
okay.
Which is crap, too. They got a huge failure rate. But
are they even spectrum tunable?
No.
And that's another thing that I really don't understand. But I guess the cliche of you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make him drink. It is so freaking true. We try. I mean, our lights were some of the higher priced lights in the market, even though now we've brought down the price to super affordable for the quality of the light. I mean, super affordable. And I think Grows going to even look a little bit deeper and see if they can even shave those numbers. It'll be another probably 3-4 months before we can get to that.
Yeah.
But it's like people don't understand that spectrum tuning, 4-channel spectrum tuning, it is the future. You shaving 11 days of a harvest, you get better weed, and you get a better looking weed, more color, bigger trichomes, and you get that extra harvest per year in the same space. That's extra 20%. 6.6 harvest per year.
And that's huge in the market these days. You need that.
That's, I hate to say it, but some of the places that might save you.
That extra 20% could make or break
That extra 20% is going to make you or break you.
Yeah.
And then obviously, now everybody's using the under canopy or inner canopy lights, which that gets you an extra 10, as low as 10, as much as 30% extra per harvest. Is another game changer.
Yeah.
That are you guys installing a lot of under canopy lights? Or
we are. Yeah, we're starting to get into it. That's a newer thing, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, we're doing it. Yep.
Okay, that's interesting because that's one thing that I don't think I see that much on these super huge grows, is that they don't mess with the under the inner canopy, or maybe they're just starting to, because it's it's a no-brainer to us.
Yeah, we're actually starting one next week, first week of May. I'll be in Minnesota, starting a new project, and they got all under canopy lights. So if you keep an eye on our Instagram, you'll be seeing those out there.
And tell them while we're at it, talk about the Instagram. What's your Instagram?
It's just HydroEarth, all one word.
Okay, so at HydroEarth.
Yep, at HydroEarth, all one word. And that was started by, I never did social media before. I had an employee working for us at the time that was, fucking with Instagram and this. I'm like, hey, run our shop. And he started it up, and I never changed anything. I just took it over one day, and that's it. I've been running with it.
You got some impressive builds in there.
Yeah.
So now I'm sure you're also starting to get the callbacks to go back and add add inner canopy lights or under canopy lights.
It's more still new builds going up. People are designing them and putting them in, and the growers of the growers seeing them and telling the owners. The owners don't know anything about this stuff. They rely on all the growers.
Right.
So the growers are seeing it on your page, and we want under canopy lights, and they should be putting them in.
It's a no-brainer. I will never grow without. I mean, knowing what I know now, I'll never grow without inner or under canopy lights. I will never grow with a 2-spectrum light either. I mean,
you definitely you want to do your homework on what light you're buying.
And I believe you've been selling Think Grow, like I said. You didn't even buy Think Grow from us because we're a store. You had an account with Think Grow Direct.
Yep.
But we also shared knowledge. We called each other every once in a while, seen each other over at MJ Biz.
Yep.
But you guys been a supporter of Think Grow LED. How do we rate as a light compared to all these other lights?
I mean, you guys definitely have figured out all the ins and outs, more options, spectrum tuning. You know, you have an application for everything.
Right.
You know, these other lights are just, oh, we just make one light, you put it up, and that's what it
Fold
is.
it,
You
yeah.
know, you got, not only that, can you integrate it to all the Trollmaster gear that you guys have? You know, the customer support is unmatched.
Yep.
If something happens, I mean, the replacement shows up like that. You know,
One of the things that you were, when we try, one of the things that you were telling me today is like, you were at a grow, and you use our lifters, but they didn't want to buy our lights. They bought they had other lights. I'm not going to say brands, other lights. But then, because of those lights, you can't take. The good thing about I think LED is that you can take the bars out. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a dehumidifier, AC, a fan, you know, even the lifter, like in case a lifter went out, you know, you don't have to take the light off.
Yeah.
You just take the bars off.
Yeah, so these guys, they're using a multi-bar LED. It's a giant square. They grid the whole ceiling off. Now you can't even get up there. You got to take the whole light down to get at anything at the ceiling.
Crazy.
And the light's heavy.
You might have to take actually this light and that light
Yeah.
on both sides to be able to, because if you're going high, you need one of those A-frames that spreads
Yeah.
open.
Yeah.
You actually have to take 4 lights off.
Yeah, and you know how it is. You know, sometimes the grows are compact. You can't always put your dehumidifier where it's accessible all the time.
Right.
You got to put it over there. Now the thing dies. You got to swap it out.
Or something dumb happens.
Thing grows. You just click the bars off.
Yeah.
Drop the dehu, put it up, click them back in, and you're off and
Guy,
running.
That's one of the best things.
This one, you know, now you got to unhook wires. You got to take the light down. It's a nightmare.
Oh my God, that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts. So so what's in the future for HydroEarth?
Yeah, so, you know, we've branched out nationwide. For now, every time I hear a state legalizing, I know that's where we're going next.
Okay.
You know,
Like Minnesota's the hottest thing right
Minnesota
now.
right now,
We're getting
but
the little call, so
yeah.
you're over there hot.
yeah, and we work for these companies that are chasing those customers. We actually don't even chase any customers. We don't have any sales team. We don't cold call anybody. Nothing. I have no marketing other than Instagram.
Word of mouth.
We're not scanning the new licenses coming out and trying to get a hold of those people. We work for the companies that do that.
Okay.
We're an installer for them, so they're making those connections. You know, they're making the sales,
Okay.
and they're selling the gear. We still sell gear. We still, you know, have commercial sales, but very minimal. That was a decision we made early on. We didn't want to compete for pennies.
Okay.
Anybody can go shop to shop to shop.
Yes,
you know?
it's tough, boy.
You know,
the
this guy-
race to the
Yeah,
bottom.
This guy will do it for 100. Well, that guy over there will do it for 90. Well, I just went over there. I can do him for 80.
Yep.
We didn't want to play that game. We never played that game. We always had the service game.
Yeah.
So these other companies are making the big sales. Great. We want the labor anyway. So they're calling us, hey, we just made another sale. Go build it. So that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, 'cause it's hard to beat up on the sale. I mean, they do beat us up on the equipment and the
Yeah,
hardware.
we didn't- and-
There's always
and-
somebody looking to
Yeah,
just make the sale because they need to put the light.
Yeah, we
you
never
know,
had
make
huge
the light
money
go.
behind us. I told you what kind of store we had. We couldn't buy in bulk. There'd be no way. It just wasn't possible. You know, you couldn't get the numbers. We couldn't compete. We just did it all on service. So
But it paid off.
it paid off.
It paid off,
And
you
we're
know.
still doing the service. We're still doing the installs, and the labor work's really where our money is. And as long as it stays legalizing state by state, we're good. My biggest fear is federal legalization. If that
Okay.
ever happens, that's a wrap. You know, there's no more work for us, other than maybe repairs and things like that.
Okay, but explain to me why you say that. Because, well, eventually, if every state, even if the federal government doesn't approve the whole country, each state can do whatever they want.
As of right now, the way it is, if a state legalizes cannabis, great. I know we're going there to build another grow
Okay.
because it's not federally legal. You can't drive that cannabis over state lines to another state.
Oh, I see what
You
you're
have
saying.
to grow it in that
I
state.
see what you're saying. Okay, I got you.
So, all the MSOs, the multi-state operators, they see another legalization company. Well, we're going there. We'll buy a building, and we're going to build another grow.
Okay.
You know,
I see what you're saying. So if they federally legalize it, you're saying you're just going to keep those grows and just export
There's-
it to another state.
we've already talked about the grows that are the size of Home Depot.
Retarded.
They're everywhere.
Huge.
And they got vaults stacked to the ceiling with cannabis because they can't sell it. There's multiple facilities in the state like that, and they're overproducing.
So instead of building another grow in that state, they're just going to ship it from this state to that
Now they
state.
just put satellite dispensaries everywhere, and off goes the trucks. They're just trucking. They have massive grow over here, and they're just trucking it from everywhere. No more reason to build any more grows. They're expensive.
Yep.
Construction's a
Food
nightmare.
expensive as shit. Dude.
Construction's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Change orders, this, that. Nothing goes smoothly.
Ever.
They take forever. You got to go through all the red tape.
What do I tell people? It's like whatever you think this is going to cost you,
Yeah.
multiply it times 4 or
Yeah.
5 maybe, but not even double. It's not. I swear to God, it's not even double.
Yeah.
It's like 5, and probably do 2 to 3 times as long as you think it's going to cost.
And you better be able to hold on to it for years before you even put a plant into your facility.
Like me, remember when I was building mine, I documented. I was probably the most documented grow ever on Instagram. And then people towards the end, I mean, it took me almost like it was 2.5 years. And it was during COVID. But I started showing when they were doing the underground for the electric. So it was slowly. And then I would show every little step and have still all the pictures and all the videos. And for a while, I was like, dude, is this dude, I remember reading the comments, is this dude ever going to finish? The most expensive grow ever.
Yeah.
He's never going to put a plant in there. And then people would be battling and they'd say, dude, he's doing that just for a showroom. I'm thinking, I'm reading this, it's like, yeah, I'm building a 20,000 square foot showroom. Yeah, that's just what I'm doing. I'm spending millions of dollars just to have no plants in here.
I see it all the time. 3 to 5 years is pretty much, industry standard.
There you go. When there's a big grow.
For a legit facility. By the time you get your location, submit your application, get through all the red tape, drawings submitted to the inspectors, this and that, then all of the delays and this and anytime you walk into a construction, we do the weekly construction meetings. And they always pumping out a schedule. Every week you walk out of the meeting, you take the schedule, you just throw it in the trash can.
Yeah, fuck that.
Next week it don't even look the same.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah. They try. All those corporate people, they try to make it work in the schedule. It's just it doesn't work that way.
No.
You always go to the hottest fire.
So that's industry standard in a legal game. The only people that are able to build a grow in less than a year are the tribes.
I've heard of that lately, because there's no red tape.
They are their own people,
Yeah, and because we just did a show at the Cal Expo this weekend, and then there was a couple of people there that were talking that there were shows. There's shows at these tribe or Indian lands, and there's no red tape. You can bring the weed there and just sell it.
Yeah, the reservation land.
The reservations.
And so we've done a few of those grows.
Okay.
Done a couple in New York. Where actually there's some in Minnesota that we're going to be on here pretty soon. And they are their own governing party. They don't answer to anybody. They do anything they want.
So then, what happens to the cannabis is there? They're going to sell it within the reservation area?
I don't know how. I don't know. I'm not that informed on how they handle it, but I know they don't pay tax.
Oh my God, I want to be them.
Yeah, that's tough to compete with.
I'm from the freaking tribe Nappy Ho.
Yeah, that's tough to compete with.
Oh my God, yeah. No tax.
But I'm talking. They can break ground. We did one in New York. They can break ground and have plants in 8 months, 9 months.
Wow, there's no red tape.
That's
inspections.
No, there's no inspections. So we're in the facility, right? And I'm standing with the guy that's running the job. We're doing the irrigation there. And, something was going on. He goes, just run the irrigation line right over the electric panel. I go, can't do that. He looks at me, he goes, we do whatever we want.
Oh my God.
He goes, just do it.
Just do it. Oh my.
Okay.
Okay. Pay the bill.
Yep.
Oh my God, that's
Listen,
nuts.
They don't answer to nobody.
That's crazy.
Do whatever they want.
What about power upgrades there?
What do you mean?
Like obviously we all know that there's a lot of power that they usually put these grows in industrial areas because there's a lot of power available.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and in power upgrade, sometimes you have to get a power upgrade because there's not enough power that they have to bring it from a street over or whatever it is, to get the 480 where there's your 1,000 480 or 2,000 480, 3,000 480 into the gearbox.
Yeah, the one we did in New York, they trenched the power. It was almost 2 miles away. They trenched it all the way down the street to the building. I remember that was a huge part of the job.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And then that usually sometimes will delay a job a year and a half, 2 years.
Not
Sometimes
these
you'll build
Yeah.
the you'll apply for that. You'll build the whole facility 2-3 years later, and they'll just start to dig the trench to run you the electric.
Nah, not these guys. They're
They're
like, well,
immediate.
we need the power from here to over there. Might be some wetlands along the way, but doesn't matter. Just
A couple of danger owls. It doesn't matter.
just dig.
Just dig.
That way.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah. So then we're getting there, and the grower goes, "Our plants are coming today." What do you mean? He goes, "Oh, we're driving clones from Arizona." I go, "You're driving clones from Arizona to New York? I mean, plants all the way across 15, however many states that is, 20 states." Wow. So we're waiting. And, a little after lunch, a drone the size of this table goes up in the air.
A drone?
A drone with a camera on. I don't know what they were doing. Next thing you know, here comes an SUV with government plates on it and a 40-foot Penske, moving truck,
Oh my God.
escorted all the way across the country with a truck with government plates on it. Backed up to the facility. All the plants went in the building. Drone was watching the whole time as the truck pulled in, and then they were off and growing. Just
That
like
is nuts. That's the
Dude.
coolest story
I was
that I've
like,
heard in a while.
what
Oh my
the
God,
fuck?
protected.
These guys
These
do.
clones are coming, no matter what.
Yeah, those guys. They just don't answer to anybody.
Oh my God, they play by different rules.
And good enough for them. I think they. I believe. Yeah. They deserve it though. They deserve it.
Yeah.
They deserve it. So, but yeah, it's pretty wild what they're able to do.
That's pretty insane. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, so we'll keep rocking. Again, we're gonna go state to state. They said we're in it as long as the phone keeps ringing. We're in
I
it.
think you can say you pretty much lived in like half of the country.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah,
Because whatever state's legal, you can pretty much, like you said, rent
Yep.
houses, and you're there for a while,
yeah. We're everywhere.
and then go to the next. Go to the next.
Yep.
What do you think? What other states are you looking into that might be coming up on board? Like Minnesota's hot right now. New
Minnesota's
Jersey's
hot right now. Kentucky's popping off. A lot going on there. Virginia just is starting to talk legalization.
Kentucky's crazy because there was a time that Kentucky would say we'll be the last state to
Yeah.
become legal,
Yeah.
and look at them now. Okay. And then like New Jersey, New York, super populated. I've been in New York, I think one time, Manhattan, super freaking like dense. But they tell me that the northern side of New York is like rural area
Yeah,
stuff
it's
like
country.
that.
North
It's country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Upstate New York is farmland.
Okay. And then they do a lot of the greenhouses over there. Is New Jersey the same thing too? Like
We've actually talked to some companies about greenhouses going up here pretty soon.
in New Jersey, you do
And they do it
greenhouses too.
They do it in Mass too. Yeah, we do greenhouses. We don't do a ton of them, but we'll do them. And the greenhouse guys in the Northeast, because we don't have the market for that. It's not like out here in California. You
Right
can't.
now, California.
You can't do the outdoor. So a lot of them just grow for terps.
Okay.
A lot of it's harvested at week 5, week 6, and then just put into pens and whatever else.
Oh wow.
All the outdoor weeds, not really. That's not sold for flour or anything.
No,
it's all for
not.
processing.
It's all for process. Yeah, cheap.
Yep.
Cheap. Yeah.
Yep, terps. Yep. Get it at the most potent terp and chop it.
Yeah, the clearest, the whitest.
Yeah.
So it's definitely premature, and
Yep.
then they chop it down.
Yep.
So what's in the future for you besides what's anything different? You got any other plans or anything, or just
No,
straight
just,
build?
yeah, gonna keep rocking. My partner and I, we've branched out a little bit because we're back home. There's no grows or anything going on there. I recently had a daughter a few years ago, and I'm lucky enough to be able to hire someone to do what I was doing, so I'm not traveling as much anymore. So
Traveling's rough.
so we started investing. We're building some homes back in Rhode Island.
Okay, back into construction. Okay,
Some
sick.
spec homes, yeah, just getting back to our roots, putting some of that money we've made back into doing a couple things. And
I miss that too.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
yeah,
Not gonna lie. I always say that like I had a 5-year plan, turned into a 15-year plan. It turned into a 15-year plan because I think I'm on year 6.
yeah,
I think by year 6, so I'm in the 15-year plan. But people always say you're gonna retire. I go, yeah, I'll retire, but I mean, I'm always gonna do something. I think it keeps you young.
Yeah.
It keeps you active. I enjoy building homes, high-end homes. And I learned this from a guy that superintendent builder, one of my younger years. He said, Alex, building's great. You don't have when you become to this level, you're not working anymore. You schedule all your appointments for 10 o'clock. You know, 5 homies,
Yeah.
all of them at 10 o'clock in the morning. Because, you know, you can do your thing in the morning, you know, your kids, breakfast, whatever, you know, coffee, come, you know, show up at
Yeah.
the job. There's going to be that person that's going to be early, and there's going to be those ones that are going to be late.
Yeah.
You know, you just kind of, you know, manage it and stuff like that. And then sometimes, you know, you go to the job in the afternoon or not. And that's at the point that I kind of was when I stopped home building in Florida, and then I made the leap back into just straight cannabis.
Yeah.
You know, I miss.
Yeah.
Build
So,
homes.
and that's that's our bread and butter. That's what we will always do. We'll always stay true to it, and I look forward to keep doing it. Like I said, as long as the phone keeps ringing, and you know, a lot of the builds we do are just other companies, like I said, are doing the design, selling the gear. We're just getting called for the install, so you know, we love that. But I also like getting the call and saying, hey, you know, can you help me design this and that, and we get the sale for the gear.
Right.
And I'll tell you right now. The first option for climate controllers and irrigation, anytime someone calls me for that, is right to Trollmaster and the Aqua X's and the Hydro Pros.
It's affordable. It does pretty much
affordable.
everything that any of those big pieces of equipment do.
It can absolutely do just about everything. And I don't know if anybody's ever looked, you know, you ever open an Argus panel.
Dude, you need a PhD.
Yeah.
It's that shit.
Yeah.
It's like, where do you start?
No
It's like,
way.
You just close it back up.
Yeah.
That's probably a better
Yeah.
thing to do. And then you got to call them.
The Trollmaster gear, it's affordable, it's effective, it does what it's supposed to do. You know, it's very easy to put in. It has all the cloud maintenance that you want from
Yeah.
your PC.
Yep.
And
And that's what we
You
try
know.
to tell people. You know, it's like, just because it's affordable doesn't. I mean, even
Yeah.
or it doesn't run this. Yes, it will run a huge facility.
yeah, and you got to go to college to even know how to use those August programs. You know,
Yeah.
the training is insane that goes into that stuff. And those things, we've seen the August panels in the past. You know, customers where the thing will think for itself, fry your whole crop.
Yeah.
I saw it try to adjust EC one time with pH up, fried the whole building.
Wow. Insane.
Yeah, so you gotta be careful.
No, Trollmaster is definitely affordable, and it does everything that the big guys do.
Yeah.
And it's modular. If something were to fail, you don't have to call somebody. You know, fly them out. If they can't figure out, you have to fly them out first class. You know, overnight. You know, spend $2,000-$3,000. Get them. You
Yep.
can go to the closet.
Yeah,
You know,
and
open it up and get something and put
Yeah.
it back on, and then said, you know,
that's our number one go-to system. It always has been. Getting back to how early on we brought that in. I actually had a friend. He's running a big grow in Massachusetts now, one of the best growers I know. But he actually is the one that turned me on to Trollmaster. Long time ago, he just sent me a link. He said, "Hey, look at this thing." You know, we looked into it, and like, shit, I'm gonna grab this thing.
never look back.
Next thing you know, it's on the shelf at my shop, and we've been selling it ever since. And I'm not just saying that. You can look at my Instagram page and look at our installs. There's a ton of Trollmasters on there. Big facilities.
So tell the viewers how they can reach your website. You know, if they want to design or install.
Yeah, we got a website. It's HydroEarth, hydro-earth.com. Instagram's the best way if you guys are on there. I like
We
to
all
use the
know.
Instagram.
We all reply. I mean, like I said, people sometimes call me on the phone, but
Yeah.
they'll get me faster on the DM.
Yep,
we're always
that's it.
We're always watching.
Yeah, and then you know, there's always my email you can reach out to, which is on the webpage, but it's just brad@hydro-earth.com, and we're always standing by, ready to help out anybody.
So you say your partner's name's Tyson. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Tyson for holding on the fort while Brad's over here
Yeah.
promoting.
That's for sure. Yeah. Shout out to Tyson. Shout out to the whole team who's out in the field, away from their family right now. You know, I'm leaving here. I'm only here tonight. I'm on an airplane at 6 a.m. tomorrow, heading to Minnesota, going to our project out there. Going to meet up with the crew that's there. We got another job in New Jersey. I won't be making it there, but at least get up to Minnesota tomorrow and you know, take the crew to dinner, maybe go bowling or something. I don't know. Spend some time with them.
Right, a little quality time with the guys.
Yeah. So
Yeah, take them out.
shout out to the whole team. Really, it's it's teamwork makes the dream work.
And people don't understand, you know, I understand the building, and I understand the multi-state flying and traveling and have guys over there, and then it's definitely a lot of work.
It's a ton of moving parts,
Yes.
and when it doesn't go right, it hurts.
And you're not there, and so you got to rely on your employees for them.
Yeah.
Like I said, you have guys that work for you for a long time, so they kind of have solutions. You know, there's always problems, but you need that person who's going to have what's the best, least costly solution that's going to be the best ending result for the client.
Yeah, we got our long-term guys, and the biggest thing with the travel is keeping employees. keeping
Yes.
guys traveling all the time. So
Yes.
we cycle guys out. We don't, the one big thing about us too is we don't really sub anything out. I can truly say that we don't
Do
sub.
it in-house.
Everything is done. All of our guys come out of Rhode Island, Massachusetts, no matter where we are in the country. We don't sub any work. Back home in our home state, if we're doing a full build, I'll sub out the HVAC and the electrical and things like that require permitting. But all the work we're doing on the road from these big grows, anything you see us doing is all in-house employees, no subs.
Sick. And that's kind of good because then you have some control of quality and the guys, they've been taught to do it
Yeah.
your way. And then, it's like,
And we
Sure
make
quality.
all the money.
yes, sir. Exactly. Well, you guys, thank you for listening to this episode. Brad from HydroEarth. I'm not going to say his last name again because I kind of pushed it up a little bit. But, this is a little bit different what we do. This kind of a little bit different what we've been doing lately, should I say. But this is kind of gives you a good bearing of where the industry's at, where it's going. And it really gives you an idea of the scale of the massive grows that are being built around the country and the massive losses that some companies have taken. Like he said, it was a $85 million grow that they just said nope, they just walked away from it.
Really.
So hope you guys enjoyed the show. Let's do a shout out again to Trollmaster, the future of intelligent farming. Thank you to Brad for plugging this, and I swear to God, I didn't pay him or tell him to say this. He said it on his own, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And Think LED, best lights in the market. If just for so many ways. If you're not using ThinkGrow, I think you're just shitting the bed. Mango juice. If you're not juicing, you're losing. And last but not least, look at this setup right here. Mango Tech Store. Thank you, Mango Tech Store, for providing a great environment for a podcast.
Love it, man. Thanks for
sir.
having me. That was awesome.
Yeah. Let's go get something to eat.
Yeah, right on.
Let's go get some food.
Let's do it.
Capture!